This is Windsor Castle.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special news.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news.
This is London.
This
Bring you this important bulletin from the United States. Bring you this important bulletin from the United States. Bring you this important bulletin from the United States. Bring you this important bulletin from the United States.
His Royal Highness Prince Edward.
At long last, I am able to say a few words of my own. I have never wanted to withhold anything, but until now, it has not been constitutionally possible for me to speak. A few hours ago, I discharged my last duty as King and Emperor. And now,
Meine Herren Abgeordneten, wenn man dem Deutschen Reich und seinem Staat überhaupt so etwas zumuten kann, und wenn das Deutsche Reich und der Staat überhaupt das durchführen, dann würde die deutsche Nation die andere Dinge abweichen von der politischen
hundreds of land. But if we fail, then the whole world, including the United States, including all that we have known,
Hawaii by air, President Roosevelt has just announced. The attack also was made on all naval and military activities.
Said today in a broadcast that the Allied invasion had begun. I repeat, the German news agency, Transocean, said today in a broadcast that the Allied invasion had begun.
To the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe. For this victory, we join in offering our thanks to the Providence which has guided and sustained us through the dark days of adversity and into life. Much remains to be done.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
And how to say it? Our beloved leader, Bapu as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more.
My name is Eric Johnson. I have seen the crime of Korea. I don't like, and I don't imagine that you like, what you saw and heard and thought. When we Americans see something we don't like, something we believe is wrong, something we consider a crime against mankind, we want to act. We want to put a stop to what's wrong. That's the kind of people we are. Our fighting men
the king passed peacefully away in his sleep earlier this morning. The BBC is now closing down for the rest of the day, except for the advertised news bulletins and summaries, shipping forecasts and gale warnings.
When I was crossing a crevasse, a large lump of ice gave way on which I was standing, and I set off down the crevasse.
Kings and queens of history. Someone whose face may be familiar in newspapers and films, but who never really touches your personal lives. But now, at least for a few minutes, I welcome you to the peace of my own home. That it's possible for some of you to see me today is just another example of the speed at which things are changing all around us. Because of these changes, I'm not surprised that many people feel lost and unable to decide.
I'm fighting change, as well as violence.
Those who act boldly are recognizing right as well as reality. This is one country. It's become one country because all of us, all the people who came here, had an equal chance to develop their talent.
Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. Vice President Johnson has left the hospital in Dallas, but we do not know as to where he has.
Yes, marvelous. Why? Why is it different from any place else?
It's good, you know, it just has to be good.
Just that we can't sing, you don't give us any chance.
Who doesn't give you a chance? What if everybody's quiet? They'll walk right. Through! The kids are breaking through out on the field. The police are having their troubles here.
Americans consider homosexuality more harmful to society than adultery, abortion, or prostitution. Most Americans are repelled by the mere notion of homosexuality. The CBS News survey shows that 2 out of 3 Americans are
Yes, but I'll be damned if I like to have my audience.
Summer's almost certain standoff will either end in real give and take negotiations or terrible escalation. But it is increasingly clear to this report that the only rational way out then will be to negotiate, not as victims, but as an honorable people who lived up to their pledge to defend democracy and did the best they could. That's all the grand guy.
Down in Alabama with its vicious races, with its governor having his
dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are.
Oh, my God. Senator Kennedy has been shot, and possibly shot in the head. I am right here. Rayford Johnson has a hold of a man who apparently has fired the shot. He has fired the shot. He still has the gun. The gun is pointed at me right at this moment. Take a hold of his thumb and break it if you have to. Get his thumb. They have the gun away from the man. In this gun. They got the gun. I can't see.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Actress Sharon Tate were found dead at the home of Miss Tate and her husband, screen director Roman Polanyi. Miss Tate was
Ferry from White Lake, New York, over the weekend came to an end today. We have a report from Richard O'Brien.
They listened for 3 days, and today they sounded the retreat and headed for home. The sponsors said it was going to be 3 days of peace and music. It was that all right, and much more. Estimates of the crowd ranged up to more than 300,000, and it was that size that caused most of the trouble. That and the rainstorms that turned the big dairy meadow into a mud farm.
In all my years, I have never seen anything like this before.
No one had even the slightest notion that they would come in such numbers. Today, wearied but still light of heart, they huddled their masses and set out for home. And they headed in every direction. As one official pointed out, with 300,000 people, you are not dealing with just a crowd, but virtually a city. And as a city, it had city problems. One youngster died of a suspected overdose of heroin. 80 others were arrested on drug charges. Another boy killed when the driver of a tractor failed to see him inside a sleeping bag. One of the promoters says he wouldn't try this again unless he could rent the Grand Canyon. He may have to. Already there are threats of lawsuits from local business people who called it a disgrace. The kids said it was just great. And so, it's all over, except for the massive cleanup job that remains. The Woodstock Music and Art Fair, having done its thing, quietly folds its tent and steals away. Till another day. Richard O'Brien, CBS News, White Lake,